Hello. Oh, hello. Good morning. Let's see. CodeSandbox. Engineer. Oh, nice. Um, let's see. I'm just doing my tweet thing, and then we'll get to it. Home. View that tweet. Retweet to web development now, and then I'll share a Slack link. Cool. So today, I just came from a session with Jasper. We're talking about we're developing some cool stuff, and we talked about how to efficiently share memory between web workers. And there's something called shared array buffer, which is supposed to do that, but it's flaky. So you can't use it in all browsers, especially for iframes. And we had this insane conversation thinking about like what can we use to share memory between web workers, like even stuff it was not intended for or intended to do so, and we even landed on off-screen canvas. So basically using a canvas to store a file system, which technically can work. If it's a good idea, that's another story. But yeah, it was fun. So let's see, leave. So I have something, a couple of things we need to work on. I need to finish this reconnection logic. We're going to work on that. But there's a typing issue related to some other implementation. Yeah, we have something called context-free quotes. It's a channel. I just shared. What if we use an off-screen canvas to share the FS between web workers? I immediately got reactions on that. Oh, that's so funny. Cool. Okay, so the thing, so I have a new colleague, JK, who's been working on implementing something, which he did a great job on, but we have a typing issue. And the typing issue is related to, where is it? So CodeSandbox states support something called lazy promise. And then there's a typing issue. So if we bring it back to its original state, I think that's it. And then we'll just build that. And it's actually a really powerful construct because it allows you to consume promises in a React way, meaning that you don't need to like await them, or you don't. What I mean to say, you kind of subscribe to their resolvement instead of treating them as actual promises, which it's more compatible with React. That's what I want to say. Build. But yeah, there's an issue. Because when I can't remember exactly where it pops up. It's in the consumption of this thing. So I think if we were to use lazy promise, even here, I think it would fail. Promise.resolve. No, it doesn't fail here, but it fails when you consume it in the actual. by the way, we're fixing the cycle we're on now. We're fixing. We're reiterating our Git implementation, so that's going to be much better. It just has some quirks. We learn a lot doing the implementation, so we want to do things a bit differently. So the problem is really if we start consuming it somewhere here. So let's just go into some component and we'll do the same here. Const test, use lazy promise. And then promise.resolve 1, 2, 3. We might have to if test, let's see. And I feel a little bit bad working on this now first, because I really should. No, this is working now. Where the hell did it fail? Now it worked. What? I'm confused. I am a bit confused. Let's see. Cause it any. Oh, maybe that was enough. Oh, interesting. Maybe we actually fixed it. Because here we put any, but if I remove the any here, yeah, because this is implementation details, so maybe that's the problem. Oh, I hope that's the problem. Oh, what did I do? Why is this? That's interesting. Because that was added, right? Oh, uses type of CB. Okay, interesting. That was type of CB. Return type T. Was there more stuff? Oh, use lazy promise. That's also oh, interesting. Sorry for being. But what I don't understand is how that can work. How can this be typed correctly? It's typed a number. How is that possible when we say that this is a lazy promise function? Oh. Oh. I wasn't aware of this. So you can actually use explicit typing with generics. Oh. Why? This hasn't come to mind for me. Like, I thought to do generics, you couldn't use explicit typing like this. Because then you would kind of hard code what these arguments are. But of course, the type itself can be a generic, as was done. Where is it? Where is it? Lazy promise. where is it? Oh, lazy promise function, as it was done here. So we just put the, yeah. But this doesn't actually need to be. Yeah. Oh yeah, because because JK wanted this wasn't working, and then JK wanted to fix that, so he added any. But then that caused like, yeah. But if we add any here, then it produces the wrong result. Okay, but this is implementation, and this doesn't need to be typed. We don't care about that because we already typed it here, so we can basically just remove this. We can just say any. We don't care. Return type any. We use any. Yeah, so this should actually be the solution. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm super happy about this. I thought it was going to take a lot of time. And if we now restart TypeScript server just to make sure. JK. Yeah, this is it. This is the fix. So yeah, I looking at this now, I understood completely what you did. And I learned something. Because I like my story of TypeScript has been, I was very like into explicit typing. And then I was working on the library, and then generics didn't work. And then for some reason, well, of course it's a learning experience, but for some reason I thought, no, generics are made by not having explicit typing. You have to do it on the thingy, on the right side of the assignment. But of course, explicit typing can also have generics. It's just a bit mind-bending, kinda. I guess. Yeah. Anyways, so when working with the libraries, I never care about typing in the internals because it's typically libraries are tweaking or like complicated implementations. That's really, really hard to type, and it doesn't give any value to the consumer. The only value for the consumer is this. So yeah, this is awesome. I think we are very happy about this. Cool. So we're going to well, let's just discard the changes here, and then I'll just push this as an update, and then we can merge or give an OK on the PR. What did I change? Yes. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. And then add your review. Awesome stuff. I learned something here. As well. Oh yeah, this is going to, I often dive into, like, I love to play around with APIs and making like the best possible consumer experience of APIs, which leads me to something I want to show. But yeah, having good understanding of TypeScript is important to do that. And I've done some dark TypeScript magic in my days. But this is going to be a helpful tool, especially for because what I typically do with implementation is that I explicitly type the return type. I use any through the implementation, and then I explicitly type the return type. That also works, but it's much nicer to have that explicit typing at the beginning, I think. Well, we'll see. Anyways, the thing I wanted to show you is, this is on my personal account, I think. Or is it just because, oh no, there it is. Oh, did I break it? Oh my god. What happened? Oh, was it the use of any? No. Ah, fudge. It wasn't fixed. God damn it. What the hell happened now? Oh, was it in the actual library now? What? Oh, sorry, picture client. What the fudge? Oh. Okay, let's just see what happened here. Because this is a promise of null, and for some reason it doesn't like that. And why doesn't it like that? I think it's specifically... so it didn't quite work. Okay, let's dive into dive into it some more. So I had a feeling this was going to take some time, and I was right. Typing always takes a lot of time. Now the problem here is why does it care about null? What if I change the return type here? What happens then? So what if we just do promise.resolve 1, 2, 3? Oh, I think this is the problem. Maybe? Oh, I guess it just has the same issue. Oh, no, now... Oh, okay, so we actually had to use... Okay, because I want to remove that as well. Like, not have... One thing is having the explicit typing on the thingy. But I don't want to have the explicit typing here either. Like, ideally. Oh, okay. God damn it. Anyways, I learned something. Yeah, and because this is the core issue. Hazard is using from external module, and this is like incredibly difficult to understand why TypeScript has this issue. I'm going to keep this no matter because I think it's much cleaner. But the problem is really, so it's using these from external module, but cannot be named. So I think the problem might be if these were defined within this module, then we would be okay. Yeah, because I think I remember the fix for this is that I didn't have these tools module. I actually just exported them directly from here, and then I think it actually worked. but it annoys me deeply that I can't use it. Has or is using from external module. The problem is that it has to do that because it's a symbol that's shared. Okay, so I'm just going to do that for now and see if that actually fixes the problem. So we're going to move these things out of tools and into index. I guess that's also a problem. Oh no. Okay, we're just going to try that and see what happens. Why is it okay, anyways. Doesn't seem like it fixed it. No. Okay, so that didn't matter. Okay, and then just for testing it, I'm just trying to understand what this error actually is. And if it works now, then it's because we're importing these constants from a different module. No, it still fails. From external module. Exported variable use git push has or is using name prev state from external module. What does that mean? And I try to search what this means, and it's like impossible because people have these examples and it's impossible to see how they relate to this specific thing. God damn it. And we need this typing. It has to be there. I wonder. Has or is using name action from external module. But here it says it's importing it from tools. That's not correct. Yeah, that's wrong. So I think we might have to restart. Yeah. Let's try restarting it again. It's just a language server that doesn't understand. We have to restart the whole thing. Annoying. Goddamn typing. Okay, well, it still has the same problem, but at least it states that it's importing. It's really weird though. It's really, really weird. Has or is using name. Because it doesn't know the shape of route. Since the index.ts file in view which you're importing in re-exports route, does not provide a direct reference to route that the compiler needs. Is it because it's... It seems to me that the problem is that... But then this should have worked, right? Because we're not re-exporting these ones. Now these are being used. I don't understand this. Everything's in a single module and it still fails. That makes absolutely no sense. From external module. But it's almost like... Like, how do you like fix it? But cannot be named? But that doesn't make any sense if it's referencing the... What the hell does it mean? So exact shape of detail route, because it does not know the shape of route. It kind of looks like what I'm doing. It's almost like it's I have no fucking idea. It makes no sense. Okay, maybe we should do symbol. So that helped. Like it mentioned like TypeScript when you do this. Sorry, like we're doing this import. Use lazy promise. It's kind of trying to. It kind of makes a map out of all exports. And for some reason, it's not able to match it. Change the type props. Huh. I have no idea. Why is this happening? Why can't you resolve these? From external module? Well, that's not true. It's not from an external module, it's from the same freaking module. I'm just going to remove all of this stuff. I'm not sure if this actually updates the yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think we actually update when we do this. Yeah, so there's no reason to try to change this. What the fudge? And I'm not sure how I'm going to tackle this. Should we try to just change the typing or? Oh my god. Where did it go? Tools. I was thinking like these things are coming from god damn it. So we have these utilities that produces, so for example transition, that's the thing, like it has the same thing. And this works just fine. So what's the difference between this one, which also uses I'm going to discard changes here as well. What's the difference between this one, which also clearly uses these symbols, from this one? It's the exact same thing. It makes absolutely no sense. transition action type. Or does this have the same problem? Oh, interesting. Okay. So it does have the same problem. So the thing is, like, when this started happening, it was because I wanted to clean up the library. I wanted to split it into different files. But for some reason, because I didn't want everything in one single file. But for some reason, that completely breaks. Because these are used by... Is it the way I build the library? I don't understand this. I don't understand this. What the hell is this? I wonder why this, like, why does this happen? So I could try just putting them back into a single file again. For some reason, you just can't organize your projects like this. Who the fuck knows? Kind of annoying though. Yeah, it's super, super annoying. And even here we are importing, I think. Oh yeah, but that works. Okay. Okay, I think we just have to do that. Just put everything back into a single file. Because I have no idea why that happens. Makes absolutely no sense. Because we can't spend all the day doing this. Or all day doing this. And then we'll just... Next one is tools. Tools. Let's see, let's put the types at the top. Constants. And then we have utils. And those should be like after the types or something. So this is, yeah. Okay, let's try that, and we'll delete, 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 and let's build it. That's so annoying. PMP. Oh, then yeah, I guess it didn't. Oh. I'm not. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. Ah, god damn it! We have to restart the whole thing, which is a little bit annoying, but okay. And spend the efforts there instead of. Let's see. Sorry, I was just helping or answering a question. Okay, so this still doesn't work. What the fuck? Seriously? That makes absolutely no sense. So even that doesn't work. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Is it because this is a library that uses a dependency? And then wait a minute. Does that have anything to do with it? No, that can't be it. What the fuck? This makes absolutely no sense. I'm stumped. God damn it. This is taking over my day. God damn it. And I shouldn't even be spending time on this. I should really work on the reconnect, but there's something about me and type issues. I guess it's an opportunity to learn, and it's so rewarding when you fix it. So I'm like, it's kind of like a drug for me. How sad is that? Type challenges. And I wanted to show you the other thing. God damn it. So what I'm wondering is, this is exporting so what I think happens here is that TypeScript understands that we're exporting this function, and it kind of understands that it's a library. And so if someone were to consume this function, so the problem isn't here. This is able to resolve everything. But the thing that consumes this function is not able to resolve the types it depends on. Because it's, yeah, the exported variable is using has or is has but cannot be named. Why did I write it this way? But cannot be named? So I have a feeling that when someone is going to consume this use git push to remote file, yeah, exactly. That's why it doesn't error when we consume it in the actual app, because then we're just using the lazy promise. But here we're exporting something using lazy promise. And this file doesn't have any reference to the symbols used inside use lazy promise. Which is why I don't quite understand why re-exporting it doesn't work, and why does it work when we explicitly why TypeScript? Why? I want to understand why it works like this. So I guess it's when it's trying to infer the return type here. It doesn't have any way to understand these variables used by use lazy promise. But how do you like resolve that? And I guess that's why the solutions were like creating their own types. Okay, so we could argue that this is just something you have to do when you export. But it bothers me that you have to do that. It really bothers me. But it is exactly what's happening here. So now I see the relationship between these two. Was it this one? No. Yeah, this one. So it happens the same here, right? Because we're just using a type within this object. So when it doesn't give a direct reference to route. Wait a minute, what was the original issue? Okay, so here the issue is that it's indeed... Yeah, it doesn't seem completely relatable. Because here it's because it's being imported by a re-export. Or here it's... Yeah, to avoid... Okay, so it's trying to figure out the shape of that thing. But because it was imported a re-export, then it didn't work. Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. When trying to emit the module, the compiler needs to write an object type literal representing the shape of the module, but there isn't a name in scope that refers directly to route. So the type cannot be named. If you add a direct import, so, but that means, that's what I don't understand. Because we do have a direct import. There isn't any like re-exports or anything like that. So to me, it seems to be directly related to symbols. It's almost like I should refactor it to not use symbols, just to test it. Well, I guess we could do that. Because we don't really need to use symbols. Actually. Because this is only used for typing. These properties, it's just used to infer typing. Well, they do hold values as well. But it doesn't matter if it's a symbol or just some other thing. Okay, we're going to try to do that. So we're going to reset this whole thing. And then we're going to look at these constants. We're going to remove these constants. And then we're going to not use them. Exclude. Yeah, so the type S, sorry, we have to go here first. So this is going to be action, prev state, transitions. And then here, transitions, action, action, action. Yeah, and what we can also do is that when we actually add these properties, we can add them as we can use object define property instead of just adding it. Let's see, let's go through this. Maybe this actually leads to a better implementation, who knows? So this would be action. This is where we'll actually add these things. Might break the whole thing now, but who cares? Where does it actually add them? No, we do. Yeah, sorry, we do use. It's only for typing inference. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, it actually is, because we're using I'm using a different approach now to track state changes. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's see what happens when we try to build it. And then, yeah, I guess we have to restart to make sure. Let's try. Why can't I restart the TypeScript server? It's weird. Anyways, let's just restart the project. Let's see. For fuck's sake. Oh. Yeah, you see that? Now it works. Okay, so we're going to run the type checker on CodeSandbox v2 pm type check. Yeah, that's interesting. It does mean that when you do, let's find somewhere in the, so for example, branch management. Yeah, so use fork. Let's find an example of use fork. So that means here, I think we actually, oh, fuck. Oh, that should mean that when we look at this, oh no, because when we how do we infer the types? Huh. How do we fool the IntelliSense? I can't remember this. So we have use fork. Yeah, how do we? Okay, when I hover it. Okay, so if I do state here. Okay, here we have them. Okay. That's the thing. Like if it's a symbol, I think it shows a little bit differently. And it doesn't actually hold anything. But what we could do here, we could make this better. Suggestions on let's see. Yeah, and now type checker worked. What did I do here? Oh, there we go. Okay, so what we can do though, we can make it better. We can say that we do not have, since this is only used for typing now, we can be very explicit about that. So we can say read only, read only type. To indicate that it's like a private thing. I wish you could like, yeah, at least we can try this, see what happens. So we would do type transitions type like so. Let's copy this thing, type and tools, do the same. Oh yeah, and this will be what did I do? Let's see, why is this suddenly failing? Oh yeah, it's the transition probably. It's not been changed yet. Maybe we should call it types instead of type. I guess this also should be read-only. Let's make sure we do that. I do wonder why it started failing the typing here. Did I do something wrong? Oh, this is interesting. We could maybe... Oh, wait, we can now just exclude A? We can just exclude the type, right? Yeah. We don't need to exclude. Wait a minute. What the hell is happening here? Oh yeah, because I still need a... Oh yeah, sorry. This is of course, yeah, sorry. That should still work. But why does these things suddenly fail so horribly? Promise state. Expected 0 arguments? That's weird. It's almost like why doesn't it? It's almost like transition isn't typed to... type string. Should type never. And read only dash dash type. Did I forget to do it somewhere? There it's behind the type. Type, type, type. Type, type. Read only, type. And behind. God damn it. Why are you yelling? It's almost like this is wrong. Promise state. It's kind of missing. It's missing that type thing. Like, so the transition here expects. Oh, I think I know what it is. I know what it is. It's because we require this type. We can't require it. But that might break the whole thing. Yeah. God damn it. How do we fix this? I guess you can do this in typing. Yeah, maybe we can't hide them behind that single type because it needs to be optional. That's the thing. Yeah, and I don't think it's a problem. Let's just undo what we did here. Because the point is that you never actually look at that thing directly. You always consume it through the matcher. You always consume it through the matcher. So let's see. But I wonder if we make them read only, what happens then? Cool. Now you should be happy again. But what if we go in and we make them read only? Does that affect how they pop up in the IntelliSense? It's kind of annoying that they pop up at the top. I wonder if it's like I think it's alphabetically organized. So is there a character that puts it at the end? So like if you have type test, so you have foo, so you have A, B, So when you do AB, right? And if I hit this one, then it comes at the top. If I do this, it comes at the top. If I do Z, it comes at the end. Is there some special character? That puts it JS keys last alphabetical order or something. Yeah, I guess this is what is last key in alphabetical order or a character at the end. Yeah. C, Greek letter, omega, Japanese character. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, don't mess up things. It's interesting. Oh, hash. That's interesting. No, that's at the top. Is it because I use... Oh, it's... Oh, interesting. Yeah, I have a feeling it uses... Let's try the omega. I'm doing way too much out of this. Oh, interesting. That's actually at the end. A private use character. Okay, so we can use omega. It will of course hold like action like this, or we could just have action, I guess. But it's kind of weird. Like, and does read only do something to it? No, just states that it's read only. Is there anything else we can do? What if we just do dash? Oh, interesting. Yeah, so that's something. Even if I have Z in there, it will be last. Yeah. Okay, so we can at least do that. I wonder if there's something else we can do for the intelligence to think of it as something protected. You don't have that in types, right? TypeScript keywords. Oh. TypeScript record keywords. How do can I, does it state like read only? No. Is there anything that, I wonder if there is some other kind of thing that we can add to a key. What do we call it? Augmentations? Is that? I can only think of keywords. Identifiers and keywords. I wonder if there's something I can do to... I would like to have this, like you say, it's internal. That would be much better. So there's only like one thing. You know, we're actually going to do that. We're going to reintroduce the internal. Sorry, and then we're actually just going to add like an omit to it. Yeah, we don't need to, we can just say action, prev state, transitions. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to call it internal. And this is not something you typically consume. It's, but it's there if you reference the state object directly. So let's look at how we're going to do that. So we need to add like an additional exclude on this. How do we do that? No, can I do that? Oh yes, sorry. So we would do exclude as internal, undefine, and then we can do, what was it? Transitions? Like that. This is what we're gonna do. But was it transitions? Yeah. This was action. Action. So that hurts the typing a little bit, but it cleans up. So that's good. So this would be internal. Yeah, and then I guess it's like that. And oh, where's the other one? Was there not another one? Use promise. Here we go. Yeah, of course you're complaining. I guess it's just, yeah, that's the type, and then and now, oh, wait a minute, because now this doesn't have to be, yeah, this is the good thing, because these doesn't have to be optional now. Now they will actually be there. That's something we can also fix. Okay, let's go back and not make these optional. So we can actually remove some of the, we don't have to do the exclude thing twice. We can just exclude yeah, I think we just have to do this. What am I doing here? Why is this failing? Oh yeah, sorry. So this should be transitions, and then this should be action. There we go. This is how it should look. Of course, this is complaining, goddammit. Oh yeah, because this needs to be optional. And these should not be optional. Okay, I think this is going to be the best solution. And we're happy about that, and we're happy about this. Yes, so let's try building it. Okay, so that built. Can I restart? That's so weird. Sometimes I can't restart. Anyways, and oops. Let's see if. Oops. Picture client builds. Cool. And then we'll do a little. So one thing I'm wondering is, does DevTools, because I do some ignoring. That's the thing. Do we ever like, does the manager access? No, because I don't think, I can't remember, because initially I actually store these values on the object itself, but I don't think I do that anymore. It's only for inference. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. We'll see if it actually runs, but yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so this one's happy. And let's run the type checker for the actual project. And let's also try consuming just consuming the thing. Use fork. So here we have state. Yeah. So you have this internal thing, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Because when you do like state transition like this, it won't be there. If you do the matcher, it won't be there. It's only when you explicitly consume. And even then, it's just a single property. I think that's better. Maybe we can even, yeah, we should, yeah, this is great. We should just do dash dash. We not even have internal. Because it just shouts at your face. So let's do that as a final fix. Oh. And you can argue maybe someone like on state, like someone would actually have dash dash as a property on their state. But that is highly improbable. So we'll make that. And we can even document it. We can say types. Internal type inference for React states. Cool. Let's build it once more. Because this gives the correct. Oh. Excuse-moi. This does return promise of null, which is exactly what we want. Cool. I think we are happy. Yeah, it's interesting with those symbols. Maybe symbols aren't that great after all. At least for libraries. Well, they're powerful. Like you want to have a unique property. So, yeah. Let's see how much time do we have? Oh. Until 2. What's this? Who started this? Private NPM. Oh, private NPM. Okay. So what we can do as a tiny addition here, we can restart the server. Oh. What failed? Something failed? Is it CodeSandbox client? Sorry, picture client. It might be, let's remove the cache, next cache. What the hell? What the hell is actually failing here? Oh, is that's weird. Why does it say that it's running? Something bad has happened here. Because it's not actually running, is it? Oh my god. How do I stop that? Port 4000 is already in use. Why does it say that? Because that is the process that's supposed to be running that. Oh, goddamn. Development. I just want to code. Okay, let me show you this other thing I'm playing around with. So I'm building a npm package where you basically just have to well, not this, but you basically just do this. So it would be like create GQL API, and then you would just give it your GraphQL endpoint. And what you get back is the possibility to query. Oh yeah, I'm testing something here. Let's remove that. What you get back is the ability to, this would be root, to query your API using just TypeScript. Everything's typed and ready for you. So in this case, you can see that we have the thing from CodeSandbox. So basically you remove the abstraction layer where you have to download GraphQL tools, write documents, fragments, all of this stuff. You don't care about that. You just run this tool and it builds an API for you, typed and ready, and you just start consuming it. So here I would, for example, go to album, and since album requires arguments, so typically you would just maybe we have an example of that. Yeah, so like me, that would be, and okay, I want to check if I have beta access. That's all you do. and then that will give the correct return type and everything. And the only thing you do when consuming this is that what's the code being built here doesn't make an assumption on how you perform these queries. So the way you would consume it is like you would import create API from my what's it called, generated API, and then you would do create API and you would give it a way to make, so this would be the query, to make a query, and of course subscriptions. That's all you do. And then what you get back here is the actual API, which has like root, and then you would do what I'm typing up here. And the cool thing is that the typing understands everything. So when I do me, that's okay. But if I do album, that requires arguments. And arguments is represented as a tuple. So the first one is album ID, 1, 2, 3. And then the second is what fields do I want. And even here, like if I do sandboxes, kind of weird name, because it's not actually a query. It's you can just go and grab the fields. It's like a single sandbox. That's the thing. So it should be called sandbox, not sandboxes. I think, or maybe it's an array of sandboxes. That might be. I haven't implemented arrays yet. Yeah, so you can say I want the title of all those. And that's it. And then you would do that here, and then you would just get it. And I think that would be a huge thing. I don't know that much GraphQL, but I really hate, as a consumer of GraphQL, like when you consume REST endpoints, you just fetch stuff. Yeah, it also has to struggle with typing because you manually have to type it, but at least you can just run fetch and give it the type, and then you get the thing. But with GraphQL, you need all these tools and this different mental model, and it's just a drag. So I think this could maybe help. At least it's a lot of fun to work on. But I have one problem. And that one problem I'm going to explain shortly. I'm just going to see that the thing actually runs. Okay, and it does. Like this would completely break if we did something bad. I'm just going to notify JK about this. Really the symbols I was using don't lend to a better experience. So PR should be good to go now. Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to check. So here, when we point to state now, yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. And if I even do this, oh, I thought it would give a description. It doesn't. Oh well, that's weird. Anyways, doesn't matter. But that's nice. And you can argue that double underscore might be a property that you actually use on your state type, but I don't care. Cool. Yeah, so the one thing that I can't figure out, so the thing is that writing queries is quite nice, right? You would write this as something like album, like query album, something like that, and you would do album ID 1, 2, 3, something like this, and you would say sandboxes title. Like that looks beautiful, like especially with syntax highlighting, that looks great. Now So it's kind of the whole thing, like I feel like it's very much the whole argument of writing JavaScript instead of HTML, where you had like JSX. That was kind of resolved that whole discussion. Well, it didn't resolve it, but it kind of gave you the best of both worlds. And you could argue the same here. Like, this definitely doesn't read as well as this one. And the thing is, I've been playing around with different approaches to this, how it could be better. So for example, what if you exported the actual queries? So you would say album here, and then you would say album ID 1, 2, 3, and then Sandbox's title true, for example. So that reads better, right? And we could do that. The problem though is that now it's not typed directly to root. So now it knows exactly what you want here. You can't go wrong, but I could technically like use the wrong function here, and I would have to import it as well. So it doesn't give you such a nice experience, even though it's arguably more readable. But there's a bigger challenge, because you can say like album 2, and then I had this syntax where you said album, and then again it would infer what you needed to do here. In this case, album ID 1, 2, 3, and so on. But this can't be typed. You can't infer these two by this, like a union of like tuple or like array constants or whatever you want to call them. You can't do the same inference as you do with, for example, if it said type album and then args, but that conflicts with the ones only having this kind of object. So it's really tricky, and you could do like you could do album, and then you would like have args like that, and then fields, like it would be very explicit. So album ID 1, 2, 3, Sandbox's title true. So that's also a way to do it, so that it doesn't matter. So if it was like me, then you would still say fields, but you wouldn't have to give it args, right? And then you could also do, for custom properties, you could do album 2 args. Well, you would say field, and that would be album. And then it would know that you needed args and fields. So maybe this is a better way to do it. So it would support it. You would do it inline. You don't need to import any functions. And it would support even custom properties, I think. Yeah, it will. I think. Maybe I should do this. That would actually resolve it. But then you can argue, like, what if sandboxes? So in this case, well, that's the thing. Like, sandboxes would also need to do this. And maybe sandboxes also has args, like limit 5. And then fields would be title true. Like now you're getting this nested thing where it's not highlighted very well what you're actually asking for, right? So it's like finding that sweet spot. We need to be able to type inference, custom fields, with arguments, no arguments. But maybe just doing maybe like the whole thing is like, how do you express it? How does it feel to use it? The good thing about using these dollar signs is because you're actually used to them inside the query as well. And so you would probably do something like this: album ID, and then you would say album ID. So that's kind of already a thing. And I believe it's also like with big letters, actually, or uppercase, big letters. Args, fields. So maybe this is okay. Again, this is quite a complicated query. And what's good about it, it's easy to identify them and converting them into an actual query. And you could still do, and what you could still do is that, okay, maybe you don't need it. So you could actually do this as well. So when, like, typically there is no, it's only when there is a query involved, you actually need this format. But then maybe. So like team, name, true. Like again, the tricky thing is that you don't want any imports. You want to define it inline. It should read nicely. It needs to be type inferred, type inferable. And this version is definitely possible. You could do things like, no, it should take a function, for example. But that doesn't really make sense, I think, because what the hell? You can't give it any arguments that would help in any way. Yeah. Yeah, maybe this makes sense. I know some syntax highlighters also differentiates uppercase properties versus lowercase. That could also like help making it look like a nice, like make it more readable. And again, it's only when you do have arguments or you have a custom property that you need this. So we could try to write the typing for this actually. So when it has arguments, we don't want to do this. We want to do the thing args. And then fields. And then if it doesn't have an argument, we just use it directly. Yeah, and it says sandbox doesn't have. This is actually running now, so it's kind of funny. Title true. Yeah, and I guess this is not correct. Yeah, like we only have ID. And then to fix this one, this is interesting. So what we'll do here is that we're going to copy this one, and then we're going to say for all properties, so that will be a key string. You can do this, but we're going to say key of t, so we're kind of extracting all these things, and we're saying that this needs to be field k, and this one needs to be, well, either, can it be Boolean? No, it needs to be field k fields like that. Yeah, and since, oh, this is interesting. Oh yeah, because I'm missing album ID. You see that? That's kind of cool. What I do wonder though is, even though album is, I can technically say field something else, but I think that's, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like if I say field albums here, I think it will start yelling at me. Why is it? Oh, am I not getting any type inference on these ones? No, I am there. Oh, what happened there? Album. Okay, but if I say albums, no, okay, I don't know what happened there. So I can like technically, I can, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Does it yell at me? Why there is type property me is incompatible name? Oh, interesting. Oh, that's funny. So the thing is that this thing, like now I'm expecting one type here, but now I'm changed it to something else. But instead of actually showing me, it says that property me is incompatible with index signature instead of, so this is like a bad error. Yeah, this is like a bad error. So that sucks. Like it's kind of correct. What if I do this? No, because that's the thing. I would love for this one to give an error, because whatever key is actually in T, you should not be able to override that. That should just be the key. But then every other key can be, is a custom property that can have this format. But there's no way to do that in TypeScript, which really sucks. So I tried an approach where, well, maybe you could give like a third field custom, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we should do that instead. Yeah, let's do that instead. So you have fields and then you have custom. And that would actually hold. Oh, this is interesting. So you would be able to, yeah, but now you would only be able to do that. Yeah, but let's try it. So, oh, what did I do? Oh. Oh, interesting. Field. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, because it's. That's interesting. Because this is extendable, right? If I write field true. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, yeah, it probably just. That was highlighted first, that error. And custom would be optional. But if I did add it, yeah, so what's special now is that I'm using the root, which doesn't have that typing, but it could have the same typing as these fields here. So if I did custom here, so maybe I wanted sandboxes, and that should have title, and maybe it had like, if it was queryable, it could have something else, and then you could have ID sandboxes or something. And that would be, yeah, we would have to say field, and that would be oh yeah, because now it's using the wrong field. It shouldn't be TK. I guess it should be. Is that the query object? Because these custom properties should be related to these fields. Would that even work? Oh yeah, I think TK type. I think that's the only change. Oh, and we're using K again. Oh my god. Sorry, let's use U. Key of T, okay. Yeah, and this is still like at root, so we have to make it not at root. We have to make it here. So T should be replaced by that type. I think. Yeah, and now we have sandboxes. which is the only, and I think that's the deal with like custom properties, is that they only work for queryable fields. Like it doesn't make sense to have a custom field that points to something that doesn't have a query. So you would say sandbox is here, and now, yeah, there's no args here. Yeah, I guess that's, why did it only have sandboxes there? Oh, because it does indeed extend query object. Well, that's interesting. Why did it say args null? Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot one. There we go. Yeah. And you would say ID true. So, okay, I want an album. This is the album ID. These are the fields I want from that album. By the way, I also want this custom property called ID sandboxes, which points to the sandboxes field, and it should only grab the ID. That makes sense. At least it's the best proposal I have this far. What would happen here is that it still produces it produces the correct return type. So what you would be able to do here, you would be able to say you would be able to say, like when they want to type something, you would just say well, typically you wouldn't need to type it because you could just consume the response directly in a component, for example. But if you had external state stores and stuff, you would be able to say test and then return type of some query. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, still a lot to explore here, but I think this is actually the best proposal I have this far. Yeah, interesting. Cool. So the question is like, does it produce? That's also a thing I don't quite get with GQL. Like you have root query types, and I was thinking to create a function for each root query type. But are there any times you actually want to call multiple root query types? So I would ask for the album and like albums and curated albums maybe. So you would actually send a query that holds both of them. And would you then want custom properties? And yeah, that's another thing. So here we have fields, and then we have make queryable here. Queryable. But I think that also should. So for example, if I were to say me here, currently I have to use this. But if I wanted to, I should be able to have custom fields here as well, which means I will kind of have to do, so it can be the thing, it can be Boolean if I want all of them, or it can also be, it can also be here, this one, but it's without the args. Because it doesn't have any args. So that means I could go in here and I could say, Oh, by the way, I want to split this up. I want fields, and when I do that now, oh shit, I can still have the other ones. That sucks. Yeah, so you see, I get into these type issues all the time. So that makes me think that there shouldn't be any. Because and the whole thing is custom properties. That really ruins the typing. So I could just remove this. So you always have to do this in case you want custom. What's good about this though is that it's much easier to implement the logic for, well, not much easier, but it's more consistent how it traverses this when it's going to produce the query. But it really annoys me. The custom properties. If we didn't have that, it maybe would have been nice enough with the tuples. But again, the tuples makes it less readable. This is very readable though. It really is. And if I do sandboxes, here we have args for those sandboxes where we have to, oh, we have to put all of them there. I don't care. And then fields. I want the title. Yeah, you know, I like this. I actually like this. Now these becomes very, the structure becomes consistent, right? You can expect for every other point, you will never, yeah, I like this. That's a good argument, because if we allowed you to just do beta access here, then it will be inconsistent, right? Sometimes you go one level down and it might be the fields inline, or it might be these properties, but now it's consistent. Every other step is either the fields or it's these properties, and that makes it more readable. Cool. Arguably more like you won't get to the point of inline, like actual defining the queries, but again, for this you don't need to install a GQL extension for VS Code. You don't need to create a document separately, find a folder for that, blah blah blah. You just expose your created API on the context of React and you're good to go. That's good. And then, yeah, and I think for now we can just say, yeah. And I might need to like flip this around somehow, like make queryable, because I want the root to also be, how would I do that? Would I do, could I do like make queryable? because I kind of want to have the field stuff here as well. But how would I type that? So this wouldn't be make queryable. Would I have to add that specifically? Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have to. So I would do custom. Yeah, I can make this its own type. Yeah, and then use that. Yeah, anyways. Cool. Yeah, I'm really excited for this and also demoing it. But okay, let's leave this alone for now. We have a few minutes to I'm a little bit dizzy. Should probably take a break. Yeah, I'm going to take 5 minutes and see if there's some coffee. There's really nice weather outside today. And then we're going to look at the reconnect thing. Let's open it up first. That should be... Let's find the linear issue. We're still discussing a little bit how the final result should be. Where is it? Oh, I don't always like, why doesn't it show me by last accessed? It should track when I open something, because I think it's 5556. No. 5558. Yeah, you see this? Like reconnect. Why doesn't that show me? Why doesn't it show me that task? Is it because if I create reconnection? Yeah, even then, like it's way down here. Why doesn't it understand that I interacted with this lately and show it at the top? Oh, I can change this. Last updated. Ah, nice. Okay, that's a pro tip. I'm going to share that with my colleagues. Highly recommend changing the order on search results to last updated. It makes the results way more relevant, ironically enough. Okay, so this is the one. The latest suggestion here is that we do have this lost connection thing now. We already have these models. We're going to reuse that. There's a discussion like when should this appear and what should the user be able to do. I do, and Say had great feedback on this. He's arguing that we should have the reconnection there for 30 seconds to a minute. And from a user experience, I do agree with that. But then we have to do more work, because currently it's just shown for like 15 seconds, which is like the drops, right? You're really connected to the internet, but for some reason you just lose your connection a little bit. And between 10 to 15 seconds, you are unlikely to do anything else than writing code. But when you have 30 seconds, especially up to a minute, you probably do something else. You might go in and try to search. You might open a terminal. You might change the file system. And then it would just break. So we don't want that. But it's really interesting because we have some logic in place now, which actually allows us to identify certain requests and put them in a queue in certain states. So when we're reconnecting, we could actually do that. Put those things into a queue And then when you're back and connected again, we'll send those requests. So from the perspective of the UI, it would just take a long time for the file to be created or the terminal to open, etc. But you would hopefully understand that like we're reconnecting, and that's why it's taking such a long time. So we could try to explore that, but first we need to put back this model where it currently says restart and refresh. But here, and I agree with that, if it like takes a long time and you get into that state and you're disconnected, but it might also appear because you've moved to a different tab. And when you get back and this is shown, and technically you could just click reconnect and you would be back in the experience. It's kind of sad that you restart the whole VM and refresh the browser. So at least you have to be able to try to reconnect here. And if that doesn't work, then it means you probably need to restart and refresh, which is like a edge case. Yeah, so that's what we're going to try to solve. But let me take a break first, and then we'll jump into it. Short meeting. Be right back. That's a good one. Right. Let's see. Got my apple here, some coffee. Let's go in and find the thing. Oops. Let's see. What was it called? CSB 5558. Yeah, so let's open up the thingy. We have this disconnected overlay, which currently has a lot of stuff, which we don't need. This is the old overlay, and we're just going to reuse it for the actual disconnected state. Let's see. So we can remove all these effects and stuff. Yeah, let's just remove all this stuff and see where we're at. Yeah, this is also interesting because now we're not showing the dialogue. That's the thing. Oh yeah, no, we can. Oh yeah, no, we should always show the dialogue in this case. Let's keep this. Oh. So we don't need this, or reconnect attempts. We don't need that. We don't need this stuff. What's this disconnected overlay? Is that something else? Oh, automatic reconnect dialogue. Oh, we need both of them. Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll... Okay, we'll use reconnecting here. That's okay. There's no countdown anymore. Render body, do we actually need to... I think we can just do that. Description. And then this, yeah, we have reconnect. Yeah, so it might be possible to reconnect. So we're going to allow that. Okay, so let's do reconnect. But reconnect attempts, we don't care about that. And reconnecting would actually be a different state. It would be disconnected reconnecting. I introduced, so we have an explicit reconnecting state, which is what drives the experience. It drives the state where you have the reconnecting pill, but you're still in the experience. And then we have something called disconnected reconnecting, which is the state where we have the model and you attempt to reconnect. And then you only try once. That's also a thing. Like, we deal with the messages differently. So when they're in the initial reconnecting state, we'll try multiple times. But when you're disconnected and reconnecting, we'll just try once. And it's a little bit tricky to test this because we can't really disconnect, well, especially when we're on the stream. Well, I can try check on my laptop, but no matter, there's like no good way to test all of this. But I did write a bunch of tests for the complicated parts, which is like the state management of reconnect and retry and all that stuff. Okay, so we had disconnected overlay, and this should be used. This should be disconnected overlay. Yeah, and then the question is just oh yeah, we don't actually need to pass the container, we'll just use it inside it. Is that the case here as well, or is it just a different? Yeah, it just doesn't support disconnected reconnecting, so we'll need to add that. Cool. Oh, where was it? Okay, let's see what happens now. UI. Yeah, this is a bit tricky because this is reconnecting state, and we're going to test this. Because the way we do this now, we have, where do we even, yeah, so that's basically just showing the I wonder if we can force I wonder if we could rather force a fake message of being disconnected. The problem is that we okay, I guess this is interesting. It's like we can create a UI control which fakes a disconnected message, and while that UI control is on, it won't actually send a reconnect. We can try that. So let's what was it called, the thing? Show reconnecting state. Oh, show reconnecting state. Yeah, we're using it up here. We're going to remove that. We're going to shove it into the actual container feature instead. I think we even had it here. Yeah. So this would be not connected. Oh yeah, so this would be let's do this instead. Container.state equals disconnected, or container.state equals disconnected reconnecting. That's when we show the model. Cool, and then we'll rather use these controls inside here. Reconnecting. Because if we do this, we should be able to state that. So first of all, we need an effect here. Used for debugging. So we'll use effect which checks this controls reconnecting. And if controls.reconnecting, we're going to fake a message. Picture disconnected. And the same thing is, let's just call it debug controls. We're going to do the same for the effect that's responsible for, like, we can remove, we're actually not checking version anymore. So where do we have reconnect? Yes. So we're going to add the same thing here. And we're going to keep if we're only going to reconnect unless we're debugging. Oh, I don't like that. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. So that means when we try to reconnect, when we trigger this, we'll actually send a disconnect. It will start trying to reconnect, but it won't work. And then it should move over to the disconnected state. And then we can even try here. We can have the same here. So if we activate this thing, we can say if debug controls reconnecting. We could fake again that we're connected. It's a little bit tricky though. No, maybe we should just do a reconnect, see what happens. Okay, so let's try this and see what happens. I'll just sign in and get to my own. Well, I guess we don't really need to branch out on this one. Let's see what happens. What the fuck happened there? Where the hell is the whole top bar? That was weird. Project editor. What the hell? Project editor content. Why did it completely remove the top bar? And is it? I'm confused. of course you're stuck on top of UI. Yeah, reconnecting. But where the hell is the UI? Reconnecting project editor content. Does this do anything about? Yeah, project edit. What? I'm confused. What the fudge? Yeah, at least that popped up, but I don't understand why did the UI disappear. Maybe we have some type issue somewhere that can help us.
Crazy stuff, like for example that Mario Kart there, that's no JavaScript, it's just CSS and it's working. You can move your cart around and everything. Anyway, during this talk I wanted to talk about the story of how CodeSandbox was started. How it started as like a little student project. So sandboxes. So you have a sandbox, you activity. And so we started to grow. We started to get more and more users on code. What it's really about.
Container mocks, we don't care about that. Yeah, repository title. That seems like a thing. Yeah. This is of course reconnecting is interactive. I guess we should say false. Okay, let's see now. I'm watching Evis's talk. He had a talk at React Advanced.
Like for example, job interviews or bug reports. And people wanted to use CodeSandbox beyond prototypes. If someone started a prototype on CodeSandbox and it became bigger and bigger and bigger, the prototype would sometimes outgrow CodeSandbox. And they would have to go local, and that was a bit of a shame. We found that a shame too. So that was incredibly important for us. And we also mapped these learnings to.
Okay, let's see now. What the fuck? Was there more? No, what the fudge? Is there something wrong with the build? No. Wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. It made sense that it was gone, but I fixed it. What the fuck? Reconnecting. Oh wait, maybe this is something else. It doesn't seem to like render anything here. Yeah, sorry, I don't think this is something else. Yeah, and here we can actually, we don't need all these null things. We just have to oh, didn't I fix that? Oh, I thought yeah, there we go. Oh, did disconnect? It's only when you're, wait a minute, disconnected? What the fuck? How did this look like? Oh, so you should be able to interact with it when disconnected? Okay. I find that a little bit weird. And why does it only have max length on disconnected? Don't know. But why the hell aren't we seeing anything? We must have some kind of project editor content, editor feature. Where's the thing that actually, we have the workspace. I guess there's something in the workspace. Workspace layout. I think somewhere we'll okay, this is very, very confusing. Use container. What are we using? Oh, here we are. Is connected. Yeah, exactly. Main menu branch status. So I don't think we should ever check that. We should always show it. Don't think it really makes sense. But it changes if it's interactive or not. Here it is. Okay. That React Dev tool is amazing. We need to we need to change the URL here. We need to put our preview dev tool. You can use the React Inspector in the touch mode as well. We just haven't made the effort to make it available. We should do that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and I think we should make that change that we did. think it should show the disconnected thing. Oh. No, there it came, yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah, that actually worked. Though that might also fail. So we need to deal with that. Cool. What did I want to do? Yeah, I didn't want to hide the repository title. I think we should just not make it interactive. This is weird. Reconnecting. Disconnected. Reconnecting. I think, yeah, I'm not sure why this was implemented. Might be a good reason. And then we don't care about this max length. Why do we only care about the max length when we're disconnected? Shouldn't we have it on ready as well? You know what? I'm going to insert it there because that must be a problem. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now it should look a little bit better. What was missing now? There we go. And what was missing? It took quite a long time until that thing popped up. I thought I changed that. Like it should take 15 seconds. Maybe it's okay. Okay, so the next step now is yeah, I think in the in the feature we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fake that we're disconnected. So when we debug it, we're going to send another fake message. We're just going to say dispatch type picture disconnected, and that should move us into a proper disconnected state, and we should display the correct content. So it's actually doing the right thing. But we don't have the button for restarting. And I'm a little bit unsure, like, should we really expose? Maybe we should just use the container there as well. Instead of exposing it here. Because can I dispatch a restart? Yeah, restart container. Yeah. I think we're just going to reuse it. Okay, I'm going into a session shortly. And yeah, we'll do this, and then we're going to so here in terms of what button to show, we're going to check. Yeah, or we could pass in a container and dispatch. Yeah, no, we're going to do a simple match on container. By default, we're not going to show anything, but when we are disconnected, we're going to show one button, and when we are disconnected, reconnecting, we're going to show oh fuck, how do we know if we tried to reconnect? Fuck, we don't know that. Ah, that's another state. That's annoying. So there's one state where we're disconnected, and then there's a state where we're trying to reconnect while we're disconnected, but then it's like there's another state which is like we're truly disconnected. Like, how do we know if you attempted to reconnect? God damn it. I have to think about that. There's a lot of states, but handling reconnect and disconnect, it's complex. So most likely we'll just have to introduce another state. Cool. I'll have to stop streaming now. Thanks for following along, and then yeah, I'll keep you posted on that GraphQL thing. Hoping to demo it on Friday, and then we'll see. Bye for now.